Welcome to the video, guys. Today we're going to be doing a whiteout technique on my guest Crystal. As you can see, she's got roots, probably about a level 7. She's also got blonde ends. I'm going to use two different products, a wet brush, and I'm going to use Blonde Life Lightener from Joico, lifts up to 9 levels. So we're going to get her super blonde, and then I'm going to use a special toner formula that I'll share with you guys at the end. Now, you're going to notice that I did shampoo her prior to putting on this application. Then I go through with the wet brush and I brush her out. The reason I'm shampooing her first, I learned this from a guy named Hair Like a Boss, which you guys have seen either on our FSE On Demand app. We just filmed with him a couple weeks ago. I picked up some tips on creating that perfect blonde. Now, there's two reasons why I'm going to apply this to her wet hair. I clarify her hair first, gets all of the impurities, minerals, everything out of her hair first. Then the other reason I really like this, and probably the main reason why I like putting it on her damp hair, is the fact that the lightener glides through the hair so easy. Like you guys know, when you're putting lightener on the head, it tends to dry up, gets very thick. So when you put it on the damp hair, it just slides right over it. So I like the way that I can saturate the hair using the lightener in that way. Now, I'm doing things a little bit backwards with Crystal because she already has blonde ends and I don't want the lightener sitting on them. So I'm going in with her base first. So I'm going in, I want to do her whole entire base prior to the ends, just because I want to get that lightening, I want to get it lifting up. The other thing I want you to notice is how much saturation I'm doing. I'm saturating fully, like you can't even see through it, really caking it on. I'm going to go through a lot of lightener doing this, but this is also a more expensive process to do in the salon. So you want to make sure you're charging for it. But you don't want to skimp on lightener because that's what's going to give you the most even result at the end. The other thing I like about using multiple ounces of lightener is the fact that it starts to kind of conceal the hair or incubate the hair as you're going along, and it doesn't dry up. So I think where a lot of people go wrong doing this technique is that they'll not saturate the hair as much and it starts to dry really quickly. So they only get about 10-15 minutes of lift. When you actually have it fully saturated and the product stays wet, you get multiple, like a lot longer of lift. So maybe 20-30 minutes of lift instead of that. Like honestly, this never even dried up. And I had this on for probably about 40 minutes total. So now I'm speeding everything up. I'm going to work through it. No need to talk through this, guys. Doing the same thing throughout the root as we go. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the top. Now, a lot of you guys might be saying or thinking that why did I start in the back and not in the front? Because the front, you want to get lifting and going. So the reason I like to do that, and this is just over my years of doing hair, I find that the back is always the hardest to process. I don't know why, but I also find that I never want to over-process the front. So sometimes you can over-process a little bit. So I would much rather start that process in the very back. I also only take about 10 to 15 minutes to apply this, so the difference between the back portion and the front is not that large, so it doesn't take that long for the front to catch up. That gets the most heat, I believe, because when I put the rotator on from Minerva, I've got that processor, the color processor that rotates around her head. So when I put that on her hair, that's really getting the top the most. I mean, it does reach around to the back, but the back has so much density. So my feeling is, and again, it's just my opinion, but I believe that the front process is much faster than the back does. So I like to start with that. So I just work my way through, still doing the roots and finishing up the sides of the head. So now we're moving into the back and really just pulling it from mid shaft to ends at this point. So we've already started the process. We got our whole root done. I start working that lightener in. Now, notice how many times I apply more and more lightener. I load her head. Her head's probably going to weigh about 5 pounds after I'm done putting the lightener on. So I just work that through from scalp to ends, working in, checking the base, making sure it's still fully saturated, and pulling the product through. Now, the other thing I really love about this is that because I started it on damp hair, how smooth the product works through, we talked about that at the beginning. I think it creates less damage because you're not pulling and tugging on the hair when the bleach starts to dry off. So I really, really like this process. It was one of the biggest things I took from Hair Like a Boss doing his technique, was putting it on the damp hair. I really, really like that. So just painting it through, multiple coats of lightener, soaking the hair to get a nice even result at the end, to incubate it and everything like that. See how much lightener I put on Crystal's head, but that's the key, guys. You want to make sure that it stays saturated, does not dry up, and then you get that hold. So now I'm going in with a great product that will help fight frizz, but it also detangles the hair, which is kind of what I'm using it for, and it's made for blondes. This is the Joico Blonde Life Brightening Veil. Really dig this product for working through the hair. Now I'm going to go in on damp hair and apply my toner, which is the 9SB from Joico, which is their Demi line. So I'm going through and I'm just working that through, again, on damp hair. It's got a really, really nice deposit to it. So as long as you are at that level 9, 10 area, you get a really cool result with this product. So I'll work that through scalp to ends. And then this one I did start in the front because I want to make sure that is the spot that gets it the longest. And I just keep working that product through up and down, and now you can see our end result, how blonde, how bright, the nice even tone that it gets. So hope you guys find this technique valuable. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Make sure you check out freesaloneducation.com for more videos, and go to joico.com if you want to learn more about the products used in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.